Well, that fader was meant to work. This is all going to go to pot, you know. Fader didn't work, and then the second I'm about to film a coach, another bloody one goes and go right in front of it. Day trip to Ypres. This isn't Ypres. This is Folkestone. Easy trip down, but for me it's still early in the morning, still 9:30. Customs where you buy nothing. Coach there.
Walking in front of us going that way as opposed to walking behind us. We're actually going to have to walk all the way down the way we're driving at the moment. The fire doors will shut between each carriage for security reasons, and there is a double door you get through, but you need to press the orange button and wait for about 2 seconds before you push the door, or else it won't want to open. And push it hard, yes. And you are welcome to get off the coach. We would recommend that you don't get caught between us and maybe the car in front. If there is a car in front of us, maybe sit at the back would be better. And the journey takes about 35 minutes from the time the train goes. We're due to depart at about 10:30.
Yeah, we're in the tunnel now. Oh no, we're not. We're out again.
That was a quick crossing.
Oh yeah, they have those. Yes.
Welcome to France. Just a couple of things, okay.
Yeah.
Belgium, and it's a lot cheaper, as you'll find out if you buy it here and then look at the prices in the terminal and say, oh, I wish I bought it there. Okay, so that's that. Also, I'll point out a couple of little shops in Ypres itself. One being in particular is a nice sweet and chocolate shop, mainly chocolate, Belgian chocolate, okay, actually made in the shop, okay, and I have given him a ring. There's the magic tap. It's an illusion. That's if they've got it switched on. If they haven't, then it gives the illusion away. And you'll see as we approach, okay, what looks like a tap in fresh air.
Okay. Oh, yes. Now, how do they do that? We were parked along here somewhere.
One of the reasons why I'm pointing this out to you is because hopefully tonight, when we go to the last post, or when you go to the last post, okay, it'll be along this road that you will find the coach. Not as far back as we are now. As we approach down here, you'll see the Menning Gate, and that's where the last post is actually situated. So you will find us within this area from now down to the Menning Gate. Okay, you'll find the coach along here, hopefully. That's if we can stop here. If not, then we will be stopping at the church, which is where we will be dropping you off very shortly. So you will see where the pick-up and drop-off point is there. Alright, here we are, the Menning Gate. This road is closed at night, okay, and every night without fail, including Christmas Day, New Year's Day, every single day of the year, 8 o'clock, without fail, is the last post.
So we've just arrived. I have 2 3/4 hours to walk around. There's the coach there. Completely by myself. Miserable bunch on the coach. I'm not speaking to any of them. But this is Ypres. And it's quite an impressive place. And the weather's fine. And that's one hell of a church tower. Quite big.
Superstar, not superstar.
Ich will deine Frau schreiben. Ich will ihr alles sagen, was ich dir sage.
So here I am in the market square. It's not Guildford. I just bought some postcards to send. This building you may recognise, famous old war views, completely destroyed. I'm sitting at a bench writing out 2 postcards. Just one, just done it, there's the other one. Just about to do it. I cannot believe the deal I've just got from that Belgian chocolate shop. It's fun. It's fun. I'm not even going to tell you how much that was. A bag absolutely full of Belgian chocolates and £7. Right, let's walk around somewhere else. I knew I'd do it. I found ruins. Just so you know. The invasion of Attila the Hun finished here at Ypres in 1964. By that time he realized he'd been dead for several hundred years and he'd never even come to Belgium. However, as a result of his anger, he trashed the deanery of this lovely ancient cathedral, and this is the result of his work. He was a man mightily pissed off, as he did record in his diaries written 600 years after he died.
The cafe there with the Union Jack carry-on, maybe you see it in 1922 next to the top gables. This church is from 1936, rebuilt in 6 years' time. And I can assure you, if you were on this coach 1990, you could look just throughout the village. Everything was gone. No civilians were allowed to live here. Everyone lived in France or in the unoccupied part of Belgium. Okay. A last detail. The Germans were obliged to pay for what they did here by the Treaty of Versailles. So you can understand, if you can get money from the Germans, we profited a little bit. I hope you don't blame us for that. So what we did do with a little Flemish arrogance, we added 30 meters of spire to this cathedral. But have a look at the side aisle, you have a window, and then a brown door on top of it, and the wall is cracking. The tower is now too heavy. It's leaning this way. That's why we only allow coaches here for 10 minutes for their safety. It was an interesting place because you have a good observation of the area. And the second reason is the water will sink away, because in the valley here we have mud. If it rains, tonight for instance, and next week you will come, well, the water will still be on the fields. We need a lot of drainage, ditches, rivers to bring all this water to the sea. But you know, if we open the sluices and the sea floods the lower area, also the water from the higher areas. 1915, something terrible happened. The Germans opened 8,000 bottles of chlorine gas. And the wind, it was weather like today, maybe a little bit clearer. The wind pushed slowly that cloud this way. This happened, let's say, 3 kilometers from here. We go to the front line after this visit. And what happened? The French had not very good trenches. The French left a gap, in fact, in the defense line. The Essex defended themselves as good as possible, but they were just gassed, and most of them are buried here on this cemetery. The Canadians resisted better because they had a chemist in their ranks, and
Can I have a look first, then I tell you something more here.
Are you frightened? Is it safe?
Yeah. Always wanted to to be with the soldiers and slept in tents, not in a mansion. As a lieutenant, he had the right for that, but he refused. And so, beginning January 18, he died of pneumonia. This site has been restored in '95. The concrete constructions you see are from later. They are made in winter 16, spring 17, when the front line was a little bit further than 15 during the gas attack. And they were consolidated in '95, so 80 years after he wrote his poem. 1924, for 5-6 years, the Commonwealth War Graves Commission made for everyone a headstone. And the aim was to bury everyone as close as possible to the place where he died. That's the reason why we have some 200 cemeteries in this area, because sometimes there was an advanced dressing station in a farm. We are only here now for 10 minutes, and you see a coach arrives. There was one, and one has already left. Quite a lot of visitors. You even see that here, the grass is worn away by the hundreds of feet. To give you an idea, the Flanders Fields Museum is open now for 6 years, and 1,300,000 people have bought a ticket. I am sure that not everyone who visits YPRES goes to the museum. So we can expect that even more people honor graves without entering the museum. Or maybe that's Victoria Cross and Bar. Right, so time is fast. I suggest 2 minutes to have a look around, 5 minutes to have a look around, then back to the coach. And if you have questions. I have also seen that people here have a sheet with them how to find read that map, but there you will read how the cemetery is divided. It's divided in plots. There's just a field here where they're buried. That's all.
How it looked like. I hope you try to imagine what it is, a front line, what it is, a no man's land covered with debris, barbed wire, concrete poles, wood, broken shells, bodies, lice, flies, rats, and so on. You will see it on the next picture. Now in 1995-94, when they started here a new industrial estate, they created new roads. This is an old road that existed all before, but here parallel with this, a new road was dug through meadows and fields. And at a certain moment, they dug, with a bulldozer, they discovered the trench. Of course the trench was filled, but they saw the parapet and a few items. And in Belgium we have the right to stop the works if we find something of archaeological interest. So immediately archaeologists started to work here. We have an official team in the YPRES. And they did not only find a trench. They did find a French trench and Lebensmortars to launch gas shells, and also 2 underground redoubts. And that was important because they were very, very well preserved. Normally they were filled up with debris and earth, but these ones probably have been given up in 17 when the battle started of Passchendaele and the front moved more to your right. You see there in the middle a wooden footpath. That footpath is a French trench, made November, December 14. But you know, the soldiers were promised to be home with Christmas. So the French did not dig a very deep and solid trench. Maybe they were just too lazy, I don't know. But anyway, it was not a very good trench. It's also the oldest one, maybe there was erosion. And in 1917, the Yorkshires arrived here and they dug a deeper one. That's the one behind the grey sandbags. You can walk through them. If you walk inside, you won't be visible. So maybe there are people inside now, but you won't see them. They are protected against snipers. And then you see yellow footpaths, but they have a strange shape. Why? Well, in fact, there is one starting here just in front of me, and there is one behind the coach. It leads to the grey sandbags. In fact, these are stairs down, 6 meters down. And then they go left and right, and you see small squares. In fact, these are underground shelters. There they could sleep, yeah, in a safer way than in a trench on top, of course. You have a few displays. One here, the nearest one to the coach, tells you something about the shelters on the ground. There is a circular square there with 2 signs. Maybe I will tell you something more. And then you see some, it's like a table upside down. And that's what an A trench is, but I will explain it on the spot. Okay? So 10 minutes here.
But it goes down over that yellow footpath, that yellow path, and left and right you have shelters. There you find some more about these shelters underground. And maybe just over there you see 5 rusty cylinders. These are Lebensmortars meant to launch shells to the enemy lines 500-600 yards away. It's not very precise, but that's necessary. If a shell explodes, the gas will spread and kill someone. So you needn't be so precise as a sniper.
So are they just for gas, those Lebensmortars?
Yes, just for gas. And they could be carried by one person. So in case you can move forward, they could bring it with them.
In the museum, there was
a bottle. Yeah,
it was like a fishing thing. It was a tube and a
yeah,
bowl.
that's a special one for I just read it this morning.
You read it, yeah. 10 miles from here.
Yeah. Yep. Near the French border. Right. Yeah. That's yeah. So what you see here is underground. Yeah. Compare it to the.
So how do you get rid of the water then?
Pumping away, pumping. Yeah. Or waiting with your feet in the road. 2 options. No pump. Yeah, but they pump it out. Hand pumps or with generator.
This is slightly eerie. Difficult to think this is the actual place, it just seems like a reconstruction.
along the ditches we have willow trees at the time. So this is very flexible and easily handled. Oak is too heavy for us.
Just going to the board, Elspeth.
To fill the gap which was left open by the retreat and the death, of course, of the French soldiers. And so in May 1915 the Germans opened their bubbles of gas again to defend themselves against the advancing Indian troops. And look, they're a very small cemetery. Maybe there was a farm here nearby which was never rebuilt. That's also a possibility. Just go on. Sometimes they put shelves here against the wall. Yeah, 2, 3, stop. You see, of course you have to know where to look, but here. Yeah. So if you look against the wall of the cemetery, just near the road, there are some shells. Belgian Army Regiment Dovo, as we call it, and they demine or take away these shells. To be honest, as a kid, I thrown one in a pond to see the splash. Nothing happened, so that's the reason why I'm still here.
Absolutely beautifully maintained. I prefer them next one. They're very good.
In front of you see some cars and a bridge. That's the motorway to YPRES, which stops there. Look here on your left, another farm, also a cemetery nearby. And why? Well, just on the other side of the farm we have a giant bunker, a British one. It's used as a stable for animals. Look on your left here. See it? See the 2 shells in the holes of that pole, 1.5 meters above the ground. 2 rusty shells in the electricity pole.
This is advanced technology of growing, I suppose, isn't it?
And then the ditch, and this is a large, I think a French one here on your left, huh? There's another one here.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I do this just to prove you that it's not so rare to find hand grenades, and that's the Totenmühle, Mill of Death. First German line, 1915, and now we go straight on. In the beginning, in 1916, think of 1st of July at the Somme, Haig attacked over a front of, as they cannot, even with their tractors, drive over these fields. And look, they are plowing now, but don't forget, we are the 15th of April, huh? And it has been a very dry year. 1917 was the wettest summer of the 20th century. The church you'll see there above the trees on your right hand side, 10 past, is Zonnebeke. On your left, 10-2, the Church of Passchendaele. Can you see the tower at the horizon? So now we reach the second German line, Schraventafel. Of course, they build their machine gun posts every time on top of these small hills. That's maybe ridiculous to call this a hill, but these slopes were very important to have better ground. We go left, and you will see here the monument for the New Zealanders. It's a divisional monument, just as the obelisk at our first stop. I didn't mention it, I'm sorry, I've forgotten, but that was called the 49th Striding Monument. Now the main problem in 17 was that soldiers were too heavily packed. Some had to carry 30 pounds of material. Think of their bayonet, rifle, helmet, uniform and boots, of course, but then hand grenades, pincers to cut the barbed wire, rounds of ammunition, of graves, because this cemetery was made in 1919, but not all the graves. Some of the graves were already started in 17, just after the battle, and these are the headstones just around the cross of sacrifice in the middle. You will see they are not in straight lines, and sometimes there are small mass graves. You can see 8 Australian soldiers, 4 Australian soldiers are buried here. 40%, not 60 as I said, but 40% here is unknown. This cemetery has the shape of a Greek amphitheater because on the right in the valley happened the largest drama to the British Army. You can just see the towers of YPRES in the distance at the horizon, and look here at what a view the Germans had and tried to come here over the open to conquer these machine gun posts.
This is the biggest British war cemetery in continental Europe. Just outside Passchendaele. So this is the first of 3 monuments for the Queen's Regiment and all the people from the Queen's Regiment who died here. There's 2 more around the corner.
But they got trouble with the Gestapo, and so after 41, and they were not maintained anymore. We drive towards YPRES center again. We will go through the Menin Gate, and you know, 8 o'clock sharp there will be a last post, and don't be too late. It's 8 o'clock sharp. Be there 7:45 certainly if you want to take pictures, because I expect some 400 people at least tonight. There's always a crowd there for the 10 minutes that the small ceremony lasts. It has been organized nearly 26,000 times already. Famous people attended it, of course, all our kings, Queen Elizabeth, Bob Geldof, the Pope, Mother Teresa. They all came to YPRES to pray under the Menin Gate.
Boy, I'm getting my money's worth. So here I am, just strolling down the street in Ypres with nothing left to do. We've done loads of things, and I'm trying to find somewhere to eat cheaply, and that's a no-no. I've still got over an hour before I need to go to the Menin Gate yet. Now this is what I call a cappuccino. Oh, why is the food always so much better in other countries than it is in Britain? I just had a smashing meal, quite cheaply actually, and yes, I'm quite happy about that. Good service. It's raining, and I'm in Belgium.
out the names of soldiers of the Great War who died on a day during the same week. By this act, we want to honor, remember, and commemorate those who fought and sacrificed themselves for respect, freedom, our independence, and the restoration of peace. Called the last generation, they are armed. This, and never we will forget them. As General Blumer said during the unveiling of this memorial, they are not missing, they are here. Gedurende het jaar zal de Landspostassociatie namen afroepen van soldaten van de Grote Oorlog die sneuvelden gedurende dezelfde week. Met deze daad willen wij diegenen eren en herinneren die vochten en zichzelf hebben opgeofferd voor de vrijheid, onze onafhankelijkheid en het herstellen van de vrede. De verloren generatie is het niet en ze zal nooit vergeten worden. Om met de woorden van generaal Blumer tijdens de onthulling van dit monument te zeggen, zij zijn niet vermist, zij zijn hier. Today we commemorate and honor, vandaag herinneren en eren we voor the 9th of April 1918. Second Lieutenant Joseph Collin, Victoria Cross, 4th Battalion King's Own, Royal Lancaster Regiment, age 24. 10th of April 1918. Lieutenant Colonel Ambrose Innes Brown, Distinguished Service Order, 6th Battalion King's Own Scottish Borderers, age 35. 11th April 1916. Private Keith Crosby, 24th Battalion Canadian Infantry, age 17. 12th April 1917. Bugler William Lawson, 2nd Australian Pioneers, age 19. 13th April 1950. Sergeant Stuart Allen, Honorable Artillery Company, age 25. 14th April 1916. Captain Walter Andrews, 59th Russell's Infantry, age 35. 15th of April 1970, Lieutenant Charles Pope, Victoria Cross, 11th Battalion, Australian Infantry, age 35. May they all rest in peace. Mogen zij allen in vrede rusten.
turns from the Gurkhas there.
Well, see you later.
There's a canal,
I'll be in touch.
the old ramparts. And the coach awaits over there. Time to leave.
Yeah, that's that one, wasn't it?